Hi there, and welcome to Naturally Recovering Autism. I am your host, Karen Thomas, and I want to thank you so much for being here and being a proactive parent and getting the resources that you need to let your child live their most fulfilling and independent life possible. When my own son was diagnosed with autism, I was told to drug him and try behavioral therapies, and there was nothing else that we could do for him but manage his symptoms the rest of his life. But I didn't want to do that. Fortunately, my background in craniosacral therapy of now 30 years let me know that the brain can and does heal, but I didn't know that much about autism. What I did know is that I didn't want to just mask the symptoms with dangerous drugs. I wanted to find the causes and work with them naturally. And fast forward, it took me a decade and a lot of time and effort, but today my son is no longer diagnosable with autism after being told it could not happen. So I'm here to share with you valuable resources to save you the time and some of the expense that I had to spend to figure it out, and to help you let your child lead to their best results possible. Every child's level of recovery is different, but we know that children who couldn't sleep through the night are sleeping now through the night and happily. Their immune systems are now strong where they were once sick all the time. Children who were nonverbal and their parents were told they could never speak are now speaking. Children who were getting D's and F's in school are getting A's and B's. And those that were so anxious all the time and couldn't sit still and were uncomfortable in their own bodies are now calm and happy and relaxed. And they're leading fulfilling and independent lives with friends. This is what we want for our kids. So I'm here to share the resources with you so that you can get the best results for your child, the best possible. And you can start that right now with my free download of the top 7 foods to eliminate beginning today, of the top foods that are the most inflammatory and toxic that are contributing to those physical and behavioral symptoms of autism that your child is having. They're making his life uncomfortable. So you can get that right now at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/7 foods. And feel free to share that with anybody you know who would be interested. And I will also link to it in today's show notes. There's, of course, a lot more than diet, but this is something you could start doing today that will begin to reduce those symptoms. And I'm happy to share everything I can with you. So right now, let's dive into today's episode.
This episode, as all that I offer, is definitely and especially focused on parents of children with autism. And we're going to talk about how to prevent overwhelm in implementing recovery steps for your child with autism. And this is definitely a guide for parents. This episode is designed to resonate with parents by addressing common barriers to action, such as fear, confusion, and overwhelm, while also offering solutions that can empower you, and then take your action from that so that you can then move forward closer to your child's recovery. As a parent of a child with autism, you are no stranger to the challenges of daily routines and therapy sessions and running around from appointment up to appointment, creating an environment where your child can thrive. However, even with the best intentions, procrastination can creep in, especially when implementing critical steps toward your child's recovery. Today, we will explore why parents may delay taking action, how overwhelm can lead to procrastination and affect progress, and most importantly, how to overcome it to ensure the best outcomes for your child. So, why do parents procrastinate in implementing recovery steps? Raising a child with autism often feels overwhelming, and for parents, it's common to experience moments of doubt, fear, and literal exhaustion. And so here are some key reasons why procrastination might happen. One would be the fear of failure. The fear of not doing enough or not doing things right can be paralyzing. Parents can delay starting a new therapy or intervention because they worry about whether it will work. Then also there's lack of time and energy. Managing a household, working, multiple children, other responsibilities, this can drain your energy. And the extra tasks associated with autism recovery, such as therapy appointments, dietary adjustments, implementing behavioral strategies, sensory issues, can really feel just daunting. Uncertainty and confusion is another big one. With so much conflicting information online, it can be hard to know which steps to take first. When parents feel unsure about which approach is best for their child, it's easy to just delay making a decision. Then there's also emotional overwhelm. After an autism diagnosis, it's common for parents to experience a range of emotions, including sadness, frustration, or anxiety. These emotions can sometimes make it really difficult to take any action, even when you know what needs to be done. So, how does it affect your progress? It can have a significant impact on your child's progress. Early intervention is crucial for children with autism, and the earlier you implement strategies and educational plans, the better the long-term outcomes for your child. Delaying important steps could slow down your child's development and create additional challenges in their future. In addition, procrastination can lead to stress and guilt for parents, which may further delay action again. It becomes a really vicious cycle, feeling overwhelmed, avoiding tasks, and then feeling even more overwhelmed by the mounting to-do list. So, practical tips to overcome procrastination do exist. And fortunately, it doesn't have to stand in the way of this procrastination doesn't have to stand in the way of your child's progress. So, here are some actionable steps and strategies to help get you started. First of all, break tasks into small steps. One of the most effective ways to tackle procrastination is to break down larger tasks into smaller, manageable ones. For example, instead of feeling overwhelmed by the idea of setting up multiple programs or appointments, start by researching one option that will move you forward. Take small steps and build momentum. Next, set realistic goals. This is really important because I think we have huge expectations and we expect more to happen sooner. And if it doesn't, we think we've failed. This is not true. Establishing a routine can help you stay on track. Create a daily or weekly schedule that includes time for implementing the recovery steps. Whether it's practical social skills or implementing a new supplement, even one, or engaging in some sensory activity with your child. Consistency is absolutely key. Next, seek support. Do not hesitate to reach out for support, whether from a spouse, a friend, or an autism support group of other parents that are like-minded, understand what you're going through, and can relate so that you don't feel like you're being judged, because I know that that's a big one too. Sharing your challenges and getting advice from others who've been in your shoes can alleviate the emotional burden and help provide some practical solutions. Focus on progress, not perfection. It's easy to get caught up in wanting everything to go perfectly, but perfectionism can be a barrier to action. Instead, focus on making progress, even if it's not flawless. Of course, everything can't be perfect, but every step you take forward for your child's recovery, no matter how small, it counts. Limit overwhelm with a priority list. You might have a long list of tasks related to your child's care, from dietary changes to supplements. Have a strategy that offers a roadmap that you can follow so you don't get confused, lost, overwhelmed, or any of that along the way. Focus on one activity at a time before moving on to others. Give yourself grace. Parenting a child with autism can be emotionally and physically taxing. It's important to acknowledge that you're doing your best, even when you procrastinate. Give yourself grace and recognize that self-care is essential for being an effective advocate and caregiver. So just to remember, all of this means that overcoming procrastination is crucial for ensuring your child receives the best support and intervention for their autism recovery. By breaking down tasks, setting realistic goals, and seeking support, you can take meaningful steps forward without feeling overwhelmed. And remember, early intervention is key, but there are children of all ages, even adults that I have in my program, parents bringing in, it's never too late. And I want to make sure that you are very aware of that. But the key is consistency. And the more consistent you are in implementing the steps for recovery, the better the outcomes for your child. If you find yourself struggling with procrastination, take a deep breath and remind yourself that every step, no matter how small, brings your child closer to reaching their full potential. You have got this. I know you've got this. I'm here to support you. Help is available every step of the way, and I'm here to guide you in the journey. And one of the first steps that you can take is with my free food guide. You can get that right now at autismcheatsheet.com. Remember, it's one step at a time, but every single step counts. So I'm here to guide you in this journey. I have a lot of resources in my podcast, on my website at naturallyrecoveringautism.com. And be sure that I'll get on my email list as well, because I also do free live events periodically through the year where I teach my autism recovery masterclass. So if you happen to be hearing this when one of those is live, jump into that or watch the replay if it's still available, because they do expire, and make sure that you take advantage of all of those resources, because I have done the work for you, and that's why I'm here for you. I know how daunting this journey can be. I've lived it myself. It took me a decade to figure out the recovery process for my own son. And when I did, I put it into a step-by-step process to share with parents so that you could have a roadmap and the strategy that works successfully to help your child along the way. So get your resources on my website. First step is autismcheatsheet.com for my food guide. And I look forward to our journey together. Take care. I'll see you next time.